This episode of the Wayang Crew podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hey guys, I'm Kev.
Yo, this is Del.
I am TB.
And Zainal here.
And we are
The Wayang Crew. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Wayang Crew podcast.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, this is a movie podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. I'm your host, Kev. And up next, it's my co-host, it's Del.
Yes.
What's up?
Nothing, just the hype. The hype of Infinity War.
It's coming.
That's up.
Yep.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Too excited. No, not really, but no, too excited.
I don't get that from your voice.
Yeah, because
Del's a regular Captain Holt. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
All right, good.
You may not hear it in my voice, but I look excited.
Sitting across from you? No, you don't. All right, up next, it's our other co-host. She's back. It's Neekay.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good.
Are you as excited as Del for Infinity War?
Way more excited with my face.
Way more. She's now that's beaming right there for you, Del. All right, and finally, it's our other co-host, the latest addition to the Wayang Crew, and he may be, leaving us really soon as well.
I don't know. I think I'll be here for the Spider-Man one.
All right, it's Khai.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Great to be back.
All
Time
right.
travel.
Time travel.
How are you this Sunday? And are you, same question, as excited as Del?
I think okay, so it's at the point where I cannot look at a poster without grinning like an idiot. I'm really excited for this movie.
All right, so
I'm at home fixing up the Sanctum Sanctorium Lego.
I saw that on your Instagram.
yeah, just your story.
It's like complete joy just fixing it.
Guys, I feel like we really should take Del at his word for this, because I know he doesn't sound like he's excited, but he's using flowery language. So Del,
Yeah.
I believe you're excited.
And he's building Lego, so he's literally hands-on.
Yeah, he's literally hands-on
Right.
with this.
All right, so if you don't already know, Avengers Infinity War is heading to cinemas here in Brunei on April 25th, maybe, or 26th. We have yet to have confirmation, but it's that week, those 2 dates. Keep them free, and if you want to get tickets early, you should, but wait for them to be available. Most probably at Times Cineplex, I guess.
They'll be one of the people who sells tickets in advance.
Yeah, so we're gonna get ours. Well, I know I will. I don't know about you guys. So.
Probably gonna be in Los Angeles when it comes out.
There you go.
I'm gonna be in Hong Kong watching it on IMAX.
Everyone is out of the
I'll
country.
be at the red carpet, Del. No, but they'll have a premiere in Hong Kong, I guarantee you.
Well, yeah, but then nobody's there though.
But they haven't announced it. Like, they're definitely gonna cover all the territories, given how many people
really?
they have. Yeah.
Okay, if RDJ is gonna be in Singapore, that means Cap is gonna be in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
No, because
I think-
I'm not making this up. When it happened with Civil War, RDJ did Hong Kong, Cap did Singapore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was there at the Singapore one.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So, for all you know, Chris Evans, Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah.
and you have to remember that there is a Sanctum Sanctorium in
In Hong Kong, that's
yeah.
right.
So,
What?
you know,
There is in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
There are three of them.
I know.
Hong Kong, New York,
London.
and
London.
Yeah, I knew that.
Sure.
All right, let's get to the news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. And the big news this week, well, not overshadowing at all the Avengers Infinity War trailer, but we did get a Deadpool 2 trailer.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Did you guys check that out?
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
I think it looks good. They added a bit more things to Deadpool's character, I guess. He's...
A bit more things. You mean the X-Force team?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
He's got more accessories now.
He has friends.
Yeah.
He's got-
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't know who those are though. I mean Domino and
I recognize
Cable.
Domino and Cable, yeah.
Yeah, but those are the only two that are recognizable. There's one by Terry Crews.
Yeah, that's
No
all
idea
I
who's-
that's all I see. I see Terry Crews. I don't even know what character it is.
I just
Terry
see
Crews.
Sergeant from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Still can't fire a gun.
yeah.
In the last trailer, we saw Terry Crews just standing there. In this trailer, we see him throw one punch.
And
Yeah.
he's in a uniform.
Yeah, he's in uniform. He was in the last trailer as well.
Was
I
he?
don't remember.
No.
Oh, no, he wasn't?
No. Oh, wait.
No, he
yeah,
was, yeah.
the plane.
Yeah,
the plane.
the back
on
of the plane and-
Right, yeah.
And we do see Deadpool doing the Wakanda
Yeah.
greeting.
Yeah, he
For the
did.
whole time he was talking about X-Force, we're going to be called X-Force and this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a jab at Black Panther or...
Given
Or Wonder
Deadpool's-
Woman.
Given Deadpool's history, I think it is.
It is, right? I
Yeah.
think it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see a lot more of Cable.
We do.
Yes. Josh Brolin as Cable. I think he looks good.
He looks jacked.
He looks
I think I'm seeing a bit too much of him.
Too much of Josh
like his
Brolin.
his Thanos,
Yeah.
his Cable.
And then his Sicario,
Yeah, you know,
which is
so
coming up as
I'm
well.
just like, okay, so we're seeing him a bunch of times.
Yeah, 3 big movies this year.
Yeah,
and 3
yeah.
sequels.
At the very least, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So did we like the Deadpool 2
I
trailer?
liked it. I thought it wasn't something that contains a lot of jokes or humor, but then overall I thought it worked for the hype.
Yep. Okay.
I'm impartial to it. I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool.
Okay, not a huge fan. Neekay?
I don't know, because after the Infinity War trailer, everything just doesn't seem as,
Yeah,
as exciting.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So I
You know?
don't know. Like,
I think it's safe to say that Marvel Avengers Infinity War is stealing all the limelight and the thunder.
And
Yeah.
and you can see it from the records, right? It's
Yes.
the best-selling superhero movie on Fandango ever.
Yeah. And we'll get to that later. But more on Deadpool 2. Ryan Reynolds receives a writing credit for
Not
Deadpool
surprised.
2.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
Because I remember the original director left because of creative differences with Reynolds himself.
Tim Miller?
Tim Miller, who's directing Terminator 6, but
Yeah.
actually Terminator 3.
So, I mean, you see the character of Deadpool, but you also see through Deadpool, and that's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's literally Ryan Reynolds playing himself.
Yeah, he's playing himself even more so than the Hitman's Bodyguard, where we did say that that's what we all think of Ryan Reynolds, as a person. Like,
I've not seen that.
you've not seen that?
I've not seen
Well,
that.
it's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's just that
So it's one of those Netflix / short term.
No. It was out on the cinema.
It was out in cinemas,
But
but
it's
then
Netflix.
shortly after it was released on Netflix.
Oh,
and
right.
Yeah. It
So
was.
Netflix does this. They release movies in cinemas for about a week and then it goes straight to Netflix, like Annihilation.
Yeah.
Annihilation, what I thought was the first one to have done that. No.
It was The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was Bodyguard, and then there's a whole slew of other movies now that Netflix is releasing. Even some like the Cloverfield Paradox that just comes out on Netflix straight away.
They were studio properties, straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
Because I thought because the studio didn't have any confidence in the movie, that's why they gave it to Netflix.
In Paradox.
I
don't think that was that. I think they couldn't find a release schedule for it.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you not find a release schedule?
It's a
you have
crowded-
365 days.
Yeah, but it's a crowded year, Del.
Whoa.
Like, okay, so the original release date was supposed to go up against Black Panther.
Then, but there was nothing for the last couple of weeks before Pacific Rim came out.
Yeah, but Black Panther was there.
Okay.
At $1 billion.
Okay. Yeah, true.
All right.
True,
So
true,
the news
true.
here was that Ryan Reynolds now received a credit.
Classic Wayang
We
Crew.
sort of tangent off. Khai mentioned this just a little bit earlier on in the show. Infinity War shatters Black Panther's advanced ticket sales record.
Absolutely.
And is now the biggest comic book movie ever
At Fandango.
to have pre-sale tickets.
Yes.
Ever. It's not even out yet, and it's
No.
already breaking records.
But you knew this was coming.
yeah.
When that first trailer dropped and it hit 234 million views in 24 hours,
Yeah.
I was like, this is another 2 billion film.
Mm.
I don't know if it will beat The Force Awakens, but it will definitely join that club.
Yeah.
It'll be up there.
It'll be
For
up there.
sure.
Definitely
It'll
2
be up
billion.
Unless the movie sucks.
But you see, like, so what is suck according to Marvel? Like, the
No.
pendulum is not that, the spectrum is not that big.
No, Marvel has not done a movie that.
That is terrible.
Yes.
It's just not great.
Howard
Yes.
the Duck? I mean...
That was Lucasfilm.
yeah.
That was Lucasfilm, bro.
That's true. More on
Okay.
Infinity War.
Yes.
Since everyone is jumping on the hype train, it's the biggest movie this year, and maybe for next year,
Until the next one.
until the next one. Companies like IMAX are even jumping on this train and trying to sort of self-promote themselves.
Yes.
There is going to be an IMAX run of Avengers Infinity War,
True.
as with most Marvel movies.
Yes.
But this time, they've gone the extra mile and they've put out a YouTube video with a trailer comparison for Infinity War on the standard screen, which is the standard letterbox that we get here in
Yeah.
Brunei, and an IMAX screen. And it even says on the bottom of the screen, see up to 26% more on IMAX.
Size does matter, huh?
Yeah, very much so. Which is why Thanos is so big. This is obviously a marketing ploy, but
Obviously, yeah.
I do see the benefits
Of
of
IMAX.
having a big IMAX screen and seeing that little bit more. I mean, 26% is about...
26 is not little.
It's a quarter more.
I'll let you know how much more.
How much more?
I'll let you know
Oh,
after
because-
I've seen it.
After you've seen it, all right.
So here's the thing, though. in order to see that 26% more, you gotta pay up to another 30% extra for an IMAX ticket.
That's correct.
They should also put that
That's
there.
correct.
Well, you pay for what you get, I guess.
I guess. Here's the thing, right? Like, would you pay an extra? So the closest I can compare IMAX is Singapore, having never watched IMAX in America.
Okay, yeah.
I saw The Force Awakens in IMAX. That was my final time watching it. It was my 16th and final time.
Sure.
And I paid $24 to watch it. And I realized what they mean. The shots are wider.
Yep.
You see more. But at the same time, I thought if I didn't love this movie as much, the average person would not have paid up to that much to watch this film.
Unless they were like a serious cinephile and they say, you know what, I want to go see the biggest frame that I can see.
So now it begs the question, like, would this actually affect IMAX's bottom line? Like, I think those who were gonna watch it in IMAX would have watched it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, would a person go, oh, for 26% more, let me pay another $15 for that?
I mean, this is just them probably saying, you know, we need to get more butts into
I
our
guess
cinemas.
so.
Yeah, because of this movie itself is a big pull for the crowd, and they want more people to go visit IMAX.
You know what would have been more effective? Watch it in IMAX and figure. We'll tell you where the Soul Stone is. It's a scratch and win on your ticket.
On your ticket, I get the back. Yeah.
Oh, try again.
I was talking to Nikkei just before we started recording, and she watched Mad Max
Fury Road.
Road.
Yeah.
on IMAX in 3D, and she said it was a whole different experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Having watched it here.
Yeah, so I watched it here in Brunei first, then I went to Manila and I watched it on IMAX 3D. And the whole experience is totally different, especially the sandstorm chase
Right.
fight.
Okay, yeah.
It was so different.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Going on that, the only movie I've watched properly on an IMAX screen is The Dark Knight.
Oof.
And that was 10 years ago.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
I was in Melbourne and they said, you want to watch a movie? I said, what movie? The Dark Knight? I said, that came out like 2 months ago. Yeah, but it's in IMAX. Let's go.
Worth it.
Worth it, yeah. You know, the big shots with the buildings and, you know, Batman is sort of life size on the screen.
Yeah, and that reminds me also, I was in Bangkok and I watched The Walk on IMAX. I cried. I came back and watched it again the second time. I didn't. So
I need to see that.
Okay.
I don't know. I've watched, I think, 10 IMAX movies up at this point, and I still think Force Awakens was the best experience I had. Oh, no. Sorry, Avatar. Blue People Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar.
Blue People Avatar.
Blue People Avatar.
No, because there's another Avatar.
What?
The
Airbender, the last Airbender.
Right.
the Airbender Avatar.
Yeah. Blue People Avatar was the
bold
single
Avatar.
best experience I've had.
Okay, Infinity War. More news.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy's James Gunn shares his reaction to the movie.
I saw that on Twitter, yeah.
He tweeted it out, and I'm quoting here. He says, Avengers Infinity War is incredible! Wow! And that's all I'll say for the time being. Hashtag Avengers Infinity War, hashtag Infinity War.
I think I'm a bit disappointed.
Really?
That's his only reaction. He didn't use the words awesome, stupendous, incredulous.
I think people who watch it early are kind of cautionary because they don't want to overhype something.
Yeah.
You know, like, I remember...
Considering he's also attached to the studio. Yeah.
I think it's...
Because at a hand.
Okay, I'll have to be honest. This article was a bait, and I didn't get the reaction that I wanted from Dell, which was what else is he gonna say?
Yeah.
Because in that tweet, he tweeted directly to Chris Pratt.
Did
no?
he?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah,
He tagged the Russo brothers.
Yeah,
no?
he tagged the Russo brothers.
Because I thought he tagged Chris Pratt,
Okay.
and then that was his own conversation with Chris Pratt, which other people blew it out of proportion.
No. It was a public tweet, and
Right,
you know,
okay,
just
okay.
his initial reactions.
Because if he did it to Chris Pratt only, then I'm like, yeah, you know, you want to congratulate your star
Your friend,
of
yeah.
your franchise, yeah.
Okay. One more bit of Infinity War news. Robert Downey Jr. has shared his favorite scene, and Iron Man isn't in it. Okay. He was asked, and he said that his favorite scene has already been seen. And it's when Thor, who was like totally just put in the spaceship from
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, from Guardians of the Galaxy. He turns around and goes like, who the hell are you guys? And then it cuts to the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Robert Downey Jr. is like, I'm sold. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like I've read this somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't get this.
I think it's more for... So, you see, RDJ is the person who started this entire thing.
Yeah.
Everything was hinging on Iron Man being a success.
Yep.
I think that is literally the merger between the two worlds. When Thor goes, who the hell are you guys? And then like it turns and then you see the Guardians, you go, yep. They're officially inside this world now. I think that's more... It's more of a celebration of the power of the scene.
I guess so, yeah.
Instead of the context of the scene.
So he says that that's his favorite scene.
RDJ says that is his favorite scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Dell's trying to process it.
I know.
I don't know why my brain's not working today.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Like,
fine.
I'm so lost in this one.
It's a Sunday. It's okay. Captain America, Chris Evans, will say goodbye to the MCU
Don't do this.
after Avengers 4.
I have lost the will to live.
Well, it's about time. I mean, there was murmurings of this happening since last
It
year.
was. But I didn't want it to be confirmed. It's like a breakup. You know it's happening. But like, you don't want anyone to say it.
But no, this one makes most sense, and it will have the biggest impact as well.
Yeah.
I think everyone has fallen in love with Captain America.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, same.
And it's time to pull the plug on that and just...
No, but love
No,
never
like
dies.
if he goes, there's gonna my heart will go on. But
Yeah.
if he goes, there's gonna be a hole
Yeah.
that needs to be filled,
Yep.
and someone new can come in to fill that. And I have a feeling that they may push Captain Marvel to do that.
I don't know. I don't think I could get all my holes filled like that.
Yeah, there was a an article sort of theorizing that Captain Marvel would take up the mantle as the next Captain America, but that's just a theory at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyone here a Doctor Strange fan?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
we've got 2 versus 1.
Nope.
I'm in between, so okay, I guess we are fans.
Majority wins.
Benedict Cumberbatch was asked if there was a Doctor Strange 2 coming, and he says no, there are no plans in place for a sequel.
Thank God.
I would defer on this because we don't know yet, and because Marvel has not announced what's coming up after Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
We don't know what's coming after that.
No, we know what's coming after
What?
Captain Marvel. It's Avengers 4.
Well,
It's
is
Marvel.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Captain Marvel and then Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we don't know what's coming after that.
Yeah.
So it could be Doctor Strange immediately.
Who knows, right?
Or it could be
Yeah.
Doctor Doom. Ooh.
Oh.
The whole Disney Fox
For those at
deal.
home, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom share some really good stories.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say completely two different characters.
No, they were trained by in the comic books. They were trained by the Ancient One, both of them.
Really?
Yes.
Doom as well?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in a run by Mike Mignola in I think the 80s, they had some really great stuff that I always hope. Now that Disney's about in the process of
In the
buying
process,
Fox,
yeah.
I really hope we get to see some of those Doctor Doom and Strange stories.
Okay, I have no idea about this, but we'll
So-
we'll refer back to you when the time comes.
Yeah, and then it will happen in Doctor Strange too.
Doctor Strange 2, Doom.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That now Kai's on board.
Yes.
Now I'm on board.
Yeah.
Cumberbatch.
Black Panther is the US's top grossing superhero movie ever. Any surprise there?
No.
Until Infinity
Until
War comes.
Infinity
Yeah.
War comes out.
Don't get too comfortable.
Wait, so it has officially beat Avengers?
Yes,
the first
yes. It has officially beat Avengers.
one? I'm
I mean,
amazed.
having spent 5 weeks at number 1,
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider did not even scratch that at all, which is
I guess Tomb Raider dug out its own tomb.
Or buried itself?
or is already in the tomb.
They didn't have
Yeah.
the right craft to do it.
Oh no.
You win.
where is this going?
There's been an uprising.
More Black Panther news. This time it's the Lego Black Panther movie, which
What?
has
Wait.
been,
Wow, this is
Lego
news.
Black Panther movie?
yes,
This is news.
yes.
Oh, this is-
Lego Black Panther movie,
Whoa, wait a minute.
and it's called Trouble in Wakanda. This was announced last October, but now it's getting more
Whoa.
traction
I have
because
not heard of this.
because of the success of
of
Black
the
Panther.
But which studio is doing this? Because it can't be Warner Brothers. And
Uh,
Lego is Warner Brothers.
Well, it will. Okay, it's a special. Okay, and it will air on Disney XD.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not like a Blu-ray thing that you can buy. It's probably like an hour-long story,
Right.
and it's Lego Black Panther, and there's an image of Black Panther as Lego, and it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that image before. I mean, I've seen a Lego form of Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah.
Yeah. I have that minifigure at home.
There you go.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hit Dell up if you're a Lego fan too. Okay, just a little bit more on Infinity War. Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky Barnes or the Winter Soldier, or moving forward, the White Wolf,
White Wolf.
is up for a Bucky Barnes Falcon sort of buddy movie.
Oh.
Sounds like a comedy series.
Yeah.
Like Starsky and Hutch.
But
Could this
yeah,
be after Falcon has taken on the mantle of Captain America?
maybe?
And it'll be-
we don't know, but the two of them have screen presence as a duo because we saw
Oh,
that
yeah.
we saw that in Civil War.
That's right.
In the airport scene where you saw Winter Soldier and Falcon, and they're trying to run away, and then they have that fight with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And they work as like a team. So if this happens, I'm up for it. Just have like a little, side story where they, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the
Go on a road trip.
Daryl for Thor, the Australian roommate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but longer than that, like a whole movie.
Yeah.
Justice League, all right, is the lowest grossing DCEU movie.
Not
Yep.
surprised.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
It did even worse than Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, it did
Batman
worse than
v
Man of
Superman
Steel.
was good. I mean,
It
in
was-
terms of hype and
The
in
hype,
terms of
the marketing, everything was all.
It's the highest grossing DCEU
yeah,
film.
it's Batman v Superman.
Dawn
And
of Justice.
Yeah.
It's not a
then,
mouthful.
So Justice League is the lowest. It's worse than Wonder Woman. It's worse than Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And this was a long time coming. We knew it was coming when we saw it. The very first shot, as very famously, me and Del just burst out laughing, and we were the only ones.
Yeah.
People thought we were crazy. Here's a movie we're going to be talking about today, which is Pacific Rim 2. Well, I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. We are doing a review later on in the show. John Boyega now has said that he would love to produce an Attack on Titan movie. I say no.
Wait, the Japanese
Yeah.
anime?
Yes, the Japanese anime Attack on Titan. They do have a Japanese live action movie. They have like up to volume 3 now, I think.
think it's two.
Volume 2. I don't know very much about the franchise. I'm not a fan. I haven't actually watched the live action or the anime. But going on what we've seen from Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, and John Boyega's production company is involved with that movie, I think he should not do it.
No, if they want to tackle a live action, I think it'll have to be R-rated.
Or
don't.
they should just do Dragon Ball.
No? Why?
Well, I don't know. I just love
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball.
I just think that
Have you not seen the first one?
Hollywood
What do you mean
should just
first Dragon Ball?
like
Plausible deniability.
Hollywood should just not touch Asians' property.
Like Japanese anime.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. I think if it's done properly
Has it been ever? Do we
No.
have
I mean,
Just let the
something to go
Japanese
on?
do it. Like the Japanese one, what's the one? The samurai one.
Rurouni
Oh,
Kenshin
Rurouni.
Samurai.
Yeah.
That was so good. Like let's let the Japanese do their thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, John Boyega.
No.
Good job on Pacific Rim 2, though.
We shall see. Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok, reunites with Chris Hemsworth for a Men in Black spin-off.
I heard.
Yeah, I saw
They're
that.
doing a Men in Black spin-off movie. We talked about this on the show where there were plans to have a Men in Black spin-off movie, and these two have signed on. I think Chris Hemsworth would sort of fit, I guess, in the Men in Black universe. We've seen him be funny in Ghostbusters.
I have not seen that.
Really?
Yeah, I've not seen the
The
reboot.
reboot? Okay.
I've never been a huge fan of the franchise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the first time we talked about Men in Black rebooting, none of us were interested.
Yeah.
But now, with Hemsworth and Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson,
Yeah.
I'm a
intrigued.
little bit, yeah.
I'm intrigued.
I would see where this goes.
I'll give it, show me a trailer and
Yeah.
then I'll decide.
Because their chemistry worked in
Yes,
Ragnarok.
very much so. And hopefully it carries on
Yeah.
to this Men in Black spin-off movie. No details on what this movie will be, what the story is. Obviously, they're still in the development stage. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Next bit of news. Indiana Jones 5 is scheduled to begin filming in April next year, 2019.
Shia LaBeouf.
After Shia LaBeouf.
No, apparently they're completely pretending he'd never existed.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
stick
But
right.
it's because of that movie I'm less interested now.
But then again, of the 4, only 1 and 3 are good, in my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like it's not really a franchise that's known to be great. Like 1 was good, 3 was great, 2
Okay,
was
2 was a meh.
very meh. And
Okay.
I feel like 4 was the same. So, okay, that's
4
it.
was a
Yeah. I've only seen it once in the cinema.
So the fifth will be good because it's like
Yeah, right? I
odd
feel
numbers.
So it
yeah.
has- yeah.
And if Steven Spielberg's sudden career resurgence is anything to go by, because, The Post was good.
Yeah.
Apparently Ready Player One is amazing.
We'll be seeing it
Hang on.
next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Bridge of Spies was really good too.
It was, but
Bridge
then
of
there
Spies
was
was good,
BFG and something in between
Oh,
that
BFG
wasn't
was
great.
not-
There's only
Yeah.
BFG in between.
Are you sure? I feel like there was another one that wasn't that great.
Oh, wait, that's...
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think
No.
Spielberg's got this.
Yeah, there was some speculation that they would get another actor to play the role of Indiana Jones. Because Harrison Ford is 75 now.
You can't run properly.
But then there's only going to be one actor playing Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. And this comes straight from the mouth of Spielberg and producer Frank Marshall. So yeah, he's back. Do you think this is the movie where they tie him off just like in The Force Awakens?
As long as he doesn't get stabbed by Shia LaBeouf, I'll be okay.
If he comes back.
Nah, I don't think.
All right.
He has to pass it on to someone younger.
Shia LaBeouf is, his biography.
We've talked about the supposed Tarantino Star Trek movie that is sort of greenlit. Now, Simon Pegg, who is one of the writers now and the screenplay writers for the Star
Trek-
Wars...
no, Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek,
He
yeah.
also plays Scotty Montgomery.
And he says that the next Star Trek movie, which will be directed by Tarantino, may not be an R-rated film.
Yeah, okay, so I feel like the consensus is just because Tarantino was writing it and directing it,
Yeah.
everybody thought it would be R-rated, but apparently it's just going to deal with more mature subject matter instead of actually being full-on foul-mouth.
Okay.
Yep.
Swearing.
Yep.
So I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna get Tarantino to direct it and have the actors say their lines in the way he wants them to, which
Yeah.
is, R-rated,
Yeah.
as we've come to know him. That's his whole career, basically. And then the studio's gonna cut everything out.
And dub all the dialogue.
So they're gonna do a first full cut, and the movie will be like 4 hours long, and then they'll cut half of it out.
Right.
And then this is the one we're gonna show in theaters. All right. Back at Disney, Disney is developing a live-action Lady and the Tramp movie.
I read about this.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna get like real dogs too?
I don't know.
They'll
I mean,
do CGI like Jungle Book.
CGI like Jungle Book and upcoming
King.
Lion King.
But
And Christopher Robin.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Christopher Robin.
I don't know. Never been a fan of Winnie the Pooh. But
I'm a fan of Ewan McGregor.
I was a fan of Ewan McGregor.
He always had the high ground.
oh,
I don't remember the Lady and the Tramp very well.
I never watched
No, it's a really good one.
Okay.
I watched it many times in my younger days, but this is coming out only on Disney XD,
Okay.
not in the cinemas.
But it is a project, and
Yeah.
there is going to be a live action adaptation of it, and I'll give it a shot. Yeah, why not? Yeah, it seems that Disney is trying to turn all its animated properties, even
Yeah.
the classic ones.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that they will have a lot more on their streaming channel instead of the cinemas.
Yeah.
Because we are not getting the stream. And then I don't want to watch movies in the small screen.
That's true.
Yeah.
Always big screen because bigger is better.
As Kai said just
Size
now.
matters.
All right, here's one for Kai. Rian Johnson has been slated to direct a new Star Wars trilogy. Now, this has been talked about here on the podcast, and he says that the Last Jedi fan reaction won't influence anything.
Sure.
Cool story, bro.
Now, of course, if you don't know, he is referencing, of course, the backlash from the hardcore fans towards himself, Rian Johnson, as the director of The Last Jedi, and how he sort of changed the franchise and did things that, a lot of people found very hard to accept and to swallow.
Yeah.
And he says, it doesn't matter what you think, I'm going to do what I think is right for the franchise. And he has been attached to the next 3 movies after...
Produce the 3, may not direct.
produce.
Right.
Right,
And direct the first one.
And direct the first one, yes. Not the whole 3. I would like to see Star Wars set in the Looper universe. Do that and I'll be interested.
Well, time travel is now a thing in Star Wars. Did you know that?
Because of Rebels, yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
of Star Wars Rebels.
yeah.
There was an episode where, it's all these
Spoiler alert.
lines of time.
I
And...
have not seen it yet.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You are the one who brought it up.
I saw the headline.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not that. Okay.
It's a really, really good. Rebels is
No,
fantastic.
Rebels is great.
I love
I've
Rebels.
got nothing against Rebels.
We know what Kai is gonna say, so I'm not gonna ask him. Are you okay with this? Rian Johnson pressing on with his own trilogy.
Yes. He is a brilliant filmmaker. May not have written the best Star Wars, but I love Looper. So if he can do Looper, he has the potential to do something great. Maybe just not the a Star Wars that was previously set up by somebody else.
Yeah.
But if he were to write the whole thing, that could be something good.
Okay. So that's the news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. Let us know what you think, or if you have a story, send it to us at thewayangcrew@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we're also on YouTube. And we have a special announcement because we have been able to push our podcast to various outlets online. So you,
Expansion.
yeah. If you are listening to us, you probably are subscribed to us on your favorite podcast app, but we're also now on iTunes podcast. We're on Google Play Music. We're on TuneIn, and I'm just waiting on it, but we are going to be on Spotify as well. So yeah, no more excuses, you can find us anywhere now online. Just search for us on Google, and you should be able to find one of our outlets. All right, up next, we're going to be talking about the movie that is up for review this week, and it's something we saw earlier in the week. It's Pacific Rim Uprising.
So I have a question.
Wow. I literally opened my mouth.
I know.
I literally opened my mouth.
But no words came out though.
I was waiting for you to react.
No, I'm just wondering, is it Pacific Rim Uprising or is it Pacific Rim Uprising?
It's Pacific Rim Uprising. There's a you take a breath in between.
Originally,
no, but then do you
originally
put
it
in-
was Pacific Rim Maelstrom.
Yes.
And then they changed it because it's very hard to say Maelstrom.
No, it's also quite sexist.
I like Maelstrom.
It should be Person Storm.
all right. Before we dive into this movie, okay, let's talk about the movie generally. We're gonna do a quick non-spoiler review, just quick reactions, and then dive into it later on. This movie is directed by Stephen S. DeKnight. It stars John Boyega as Jake Pentecost, who is the son of Stacker Pentecost, Idris Elba's character from the first movie. He's obviously not around because of the what happened in Pacific Rim, the first one.
Spoiler.
It's been 5 years. Fair game.
Kaylee Spaney is in as a teenager, Amara Namani. She is sort of whisked off the street and put into a Jaeger pilot academy with John Boyega. Scott Eastwood is in this movie. He plays a character called Lambert. I think he did okay. There was nothing tangible, but all right. Charlie Day is back, and this actress from China, Jing Tian, also plays a big role actually in this movie. She was in The Great Wall and Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island?
That's
Are you
where
sure?
I saw her. Yeah. Kong Skull
That
Island.
was her.
That's
That
where
was
I
the
saw her.
Asian girl in
Oh,
Kong.
no.
That was her.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's two great monster movies
Oh
she's been in.
gosh.
So yeah, non-spoilers first. In this Pacific Rim movie, it's 10 years since the episodes of the first movie, but the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps, which is the authority that looks after the Jaeger program, is still around. And Mako from the first movie, Del's favorite character, is now the head of the PPDC, which is the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps. And we're sort of introduced to the story. Jake Pentecost is there, and he doesn't want to be his father, and he's sort of living like a rough life, and he steals Jaeger tech from like broken down Jaegers and tries to sell them for a profit. We're sort of hurled into the story where there's a company called Xiao Industries, who's a Chinese contractor that's pushing for automated drone Jaegers to sort of replace the current Jaegers that are in service. And, you see this in the trailer, so no spoilers here. Someone lets the kaiju back into Earth. Alright, so non-spoilers very quickly. I think this was an okay movie. It does not live up to the first movie at all. Not by a mile to me in terms of like the story and how much it means. But as a popcorn movie, sitting down there, there's a certain point, we've talked about this, we'll talk about it more later, where you say to yourself, oh, okay, this is this kind of movie. Alright, I'll just eat my popcorn and watch this. And
Right.
try and enjoy it. Del, what did you think?
It started off okay, I guess. And then when that thing happened, I checked out.
You checked
I
out.
checked out. I was going to. I was just sitting there wondering what is going on, and then when things kept happening, at one point I would have walked out, but it's because of the awesome action sequences, which I will give the movie that.
And also because you paid $6.
Yeah.
That's relevant.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why. But then no, the story, story is as the first one, doesn't really matter. So all that matters to a lot of people as well. I guess I would include myself in that, is that I was entertained by the action sequences and the giant robots fighting giant monsters.
Which is what this movie is about, basically.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Nikkei, like your thoughts before we move into spoilers.
It's a forgettable movie. It's like I can't really think of what happened when I watch. So like as compared to the first one, I like the first one.
Yeah.
I don't like this one.
You don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on lastly to Khai.
I loved it.
And he's grinning as he says it.
I will justify it by saying this. Like the first one genuinely had heart.
Yes.
Like that you can't deny it. The first one had, and come on, who directed it? Guillermo Del Toro.
Yeah.
Academy Award winner.
Academy Award winner Guillermo Del Toro. To his credit, Stephen S. DeKnight was the man responsible for quite possibly the greatest superhero TV show ever, Daredevil.
Yep.
He was the showrunner for that.
Yep.
But you see, every now and then, you just need to watch a good beatdown.
A good beatdown.
You need to see a good fight on screen, right? And that's why I love the first Pacific Rim as well, because there was good fights. And then that's why I like Godzilla, Kong, all these movies. Because you need to see a good beatdown. You need to see. I will have my romance film quota for the year. I will have my comic book. I need an action film.
Yeah, mindless sort of.
Yeah, so when this particular incident that you mentioned that happened at the halfway point of the film, when this happened, I felt relief because, okay, so I don't have to force myself to feel intelligent about this.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, oh, amazing. All right, now I like it even more. It's literally just punches being thrown.
This is a no effort movie.
Yeah, and this is the first Blu-ray buy of the year for me.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it really is the first Blu-ray buy of the year.
Okay.
How are you with the Fast and Furious franchise, by the way?
Hate the
But aren't those like the same thing with a good beat down?
Yeah, but check this out. Like the Fast and Furious movies think bigger of themselves than they actually are. They're about saving the world. But with this one, it's gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be lizards versus robots.
Okay, so that's our non-spoiler reaction to Pacific Rim Uprising. We're gonna be moving into spoilers up next. So this is a spoiler warning. If you don't want to know anything about this movie and you haven't watched it, or you want to watch it but don't want to hear what we think about it, we're gonna time code it in the description down below so you can fast forward. Now we're moving into spoilers. All right. So now it's
spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! we're gonna say it a bunch of times. Spoiler alert! Okay.
You have been warned.
If you stayed beyond this point, this is on you.
okay. So this is the first movie on the Wayang Crew podcast that I actually put notes down. Okay. The first thing I'm going to say about this movie is that it's clear that this is not the same as the first movie. Okay, the first one was, as Khai mentioned, more heart. I'm going a different route here. I'm going to say that the first movie felt more real. Guillermo Del Toro managed to show like the scale of these things in terms of the movement. When they moved, it felt like they were heavy, like as big as they say they were.
Clunky, yeah.
Clunky. In this movie, they just move too slick, too fast,
too transformery.
Yes, and it feels like a Transformer, mashup with Fast and Furious kind of thing, because family is mentioned so many times.
But it wasn't from Vin Diesel, so it's okay. I don't know if it's a family.
This time it's from it's from John Boyega.
But you don't feel the family connection.
No, you don't. You really
don't.
don't.
You really don't.
You don't. I will agree with that. No, I don't.
Like my thing with it, why I love the first movie so much, is that when you see Gypsy Danger come onto the screen, it's a grand event.
It's a build up. Yeah.
He moves up, and the head comes on and screws, and then this thing in the back comes up, and then you see water sort of sprinkling off it, and you're like, okay, that looks really big. In this movie, it just feels like it's Optimus Prime jumping around. to me at least.
Right,
even the camera movement is more
manic. It's
more manic, and it's smoother. Like they take the time to show each Jaeger, before that big fight scene towards the end. Whereas in the first movie, it was as if it was a news camera,
like a handheld
thing, which made it feel more real. The part that we all mentioned in this movie, where I sort of went, all right, I guess it's this kind of movie. Del checked out, and this is the same place where
I fell in love with it.
Both where Khai fell in love with it is the part where the kaiju and Jaeger hybrids, get.
So basically, the drones. This is the science behind it. Del, please. The drones were spliced with neurological kaiju DNA.
Yeah.
Okay, the artificial intelligence of the drone was actually kaiju DNA.
Yeah, man-made, of course.
Yes, synthesized for these drones. And at the halfway point, when they were going to the pilot training academy, genes metastasized to become full-on kaiju presence. Like, it's a physical presence of the kaiju. So they broke through, and they took the shape of kaiju. So you had these kaiju Jaeger hybrids.
Okay.
And as I said, I still like it. I still like saying this word, kaiju Jaeger hybrids. And then they attacked the academy, and for plot convenience, almost all the Jaegers were destroyed, except for Gypsy Avenger, as he is now known. And there was a huge action sequence. Amara finally realized her destiny, etc., etc. That was cheesy. I just wanted to see more fights.
Okay.
So that's the part that will either make it or break it for you.
Yeah, but you have not explained though how a hybrid is formed from something metallic and something living, and they join together.
RoboCop.
Thank you, Kevin.
But they don't change the form.
RoboCop was meant to be a hybrid. This one was never. They built the robots in one form, and then the kaijus came at a later stage.
Yeah.
And then jumped on them and somehow fused with these.
Oh no!
They were genetically engineered.
The Shao Industry Jaegers, which was supposed to be the new drone Jaegers that would replace all the Jaegers with human pilots, had for a control mechanism a synthesized kaiju hybrid part as the control unit, as the brain.
Yep.
And for some reason, which we will discuss very, very soon, that kaiju part sort of took over the whole body.
Yeah, which
But why would like the whole Jaeger transform to some part of it to kaiju? Like it doesn't make sense
No, I
because
don't
the
think it was
first
the whole
Jaeger,
Jaeger.
the rogue Jaeger
Did you mean
not
Obsidian Fury?
Yeah.
it did
I know
not
all their names.
form. It did not form into a hybrid kaiju Jaeger. It just looks like a Jaeger.
Because, Nikkei, this was the halfway point of the film.
That's not
Okay.
And they needed this to happen.
Yeah, they needed it to happen
They really
for sure.
did. They
for
really
sure.
did.
They did.
But I am not going to defend this movie's intelligence. I will not defend that. I will defend those amazing action
Yeah.
sequences.
Okay.
I
so,
would have hoped you would defend your own intelligence.
So we did
Also, we're being
mention.
personal now.
So
Okay.
So we did mention that Charlie Day is back in this movie.
I loved that bit he
Yeah.
talked about Jake's dad.
Oh yeah,
He's
no,
like,
cool
your dad was
speech.
great at speeches. He talked about canceling the apocalypse.
In this movie, there's a big plot twist. He is now sort of on the kaiju side of things, more specifically the precursors, who are the ones who have been sending kaijus to Earth through the
Bridge.
bridge.
the bridge, yeah.
Bridge.
And the reason why he has come under the control of the precursors is that he had been keeping a kaiju brain in his house. And we have a scene where he goes home and it's as if he's talking to his girlfriend, and then he goes into the room and it's a kaiju brain, and he drifts with it, and it's like his addiction, and he becomes under the control of the precursors. And he's on their side. He pushes their agenda, which is to bring the kaijus, to reopen the bridges around the world and bring the kaijus back in. That was a stretch for me. It was too much of a stretch. I was like, this is...
Yeah.
As the head of that Jaeger drone program at Shaw Industries, they would have put some controls in there at the very least. They would have known what was in these Jaegers that they were trying to pump out. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a bit of a stretch, but there was a plot to it, and that's the
Could
plot.
it be a nano-level invasion?
Nano level.
Yeah, like a nanomolecular invasion.
I don't know, because each of those Jaegers, even Obsidian Fury, had like a whole brain in there.
Yeah.
And why
Yeah.
do we even know that he's called Obsidian Fury?
Because obsidian means black/dark, and he had fire, so Fury.
Ah.
That's why it was called Obsidian Fury. So they named it Obsidian Fury. I don't know if you caught it, but Amara said they're naming it Obsidian
Yeah.
Fury.
Oh, okay.
And then when Gypsy Avenger was towards the end, he goes, "Let's call upon some of that Fury tech." And then the flaming swords came out.
Which is useless.
I am watching this again before I leave. I love this movie.
Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like.
Right.
First off, what did we like about this movie?
I loved the action sequences. I think Stephen DeKnight has a great eye for action given Daredevil's manic action sequences from the first film. And just a bit of a throw out there, I'm okay with the super smooth movement of the Jaegers.
You're okay with it, okay?
Because I do, it's like a cell phone. The first cell phone was clunky. The first smartphone was clunky. 10 years later, you have improved versions of it.
That's true, yeah.
So, the first generation of Jaegers, I understand the whole clunkiness. But 10 years later, knowing mankind's fascination with technology, I'm sure they would have perfected movement by then. So I'm okay with it with an in-world explanation.
They should have gone with a one-man pilot instead. If that little girl can do it.
Yeah, but she had a very small Jaeger.
She
but
did,
then
the neural
for-
load.
Yeah, but with the time that you have taken to smoothen the clunkiness, you could have also figured out how to just have one man pilot the whole thing.
I mean, 10 years isn't that much of a time.
And
I'm throwing it out there. Del and I will not be drift compatible. If we had to pilot a Jaeger, goodbye mankind.
you just brought up drift compatibility. It seems that in this movie, drift compatibility is not like a big thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's a secondary thing now.
It is, yeah.
It's not as important as it was, or as critical as it is to piloting a Jaeger to be drift compatible in this movie, because there is one Jaeger, and I don't know the name because they're all not as memorable as the first movie, that has 3 pilots. Now, we've seen this before in the franchise, in the first Pacific Rim.
Cherno Alpha, I think.
No, it was the Chinese one. Yeah, Crimson
Crimson
Typhoon.
Was
Yeah.
it Crimson Typhoon?
Typhoon?
Yeah,
Crimson
I think
Typhoon.
I think it's Crimson Typhoon.
Okay, right, yeah.
They do the thunderclap formation. Anyway, see, I remember it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So in this movie, there is another Jaeger with 3 pilots in there, but it seems like the third pilot is not involved in the drift.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
It's
it's
the
just-
weapons person.
yeah,
Yeah.
she just
The
sort of
gunner.
goes down and she's in the front and she goes to
You
the
mean
back.
this was Guardian Bravo, right?
I think so. I don't know. The green one.
It's either... Yeah, no, it's Guardian
The
Bravo,
one
not Razor
with like
Phoenix.
the round thing,
Yeah.
throw the round
What?
anchor.
Like a mace?
Yeah.
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 I figured it out. I feel like the last act is so disconnected from the first two acts.
Yes, it's very frantic.
The last act belongs in a different film.
Okay.
The action, the pacing was faster, it was more violent, and there was way more. Because I think they spent too much time building it up.
Yeah.
The last act is the only one that I like. The only
Yeah, it was
part that
different.
I enjoy.
Yeah,
Everything
that was
else was
crazy.
just rubbish.
Okay.
Rubbish is a
so that's
strong
what
word.
we like about one more thing that I liked about this movie in particular is that the Jaeger pilots have this cool updated hologram interface.
Yeah.
Where everything that happens outside the Jaeger is a hologram inside, you know.
Yeah, it's a Jarvis effect.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this time it's like the whole
Yeah.
the whole room essentially, and everything is there.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was the eject mechanism the same as the first one?
Yes,
Okay.
where they were put up
And then padded
basically
and
into the ceiling, and then so that's the same as the first one. Let's talk about what we didn't like about this movie. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say I hated the kaiju merging scene, which I thought was really stupid. Where you had 3 separate kaijus in the city in Tokyo.
Level 4, level 4, level 5.
Yeah, 2 level 4s and a level 5,
Became a level 13.
and then
Wait a minute. 4 plus 4 plus.
8.
Oh,
Yeah, I
right.
already did the math.
That was
that's
really
11.
quick.
Yeah.
No, 4 plus 4 plus 5. Oh
is
yeah,
13. Yeah.
Okay. And how they merge, as it's seen in the trailer, it's not very clear in the trailer. You just see
I
them merging.
didn't catch it in the trailer. I've
Oh.
only seen one trailer and that's it.
So in the movie, Charlie Day's character happens to be in Tokyo, overseeing the kaijus and go like, yes, the kaijus are back, la 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 la. And then he remotely opens up a storage facility that Shao Industries conveniently had in Tokyo, and all these little, maybe human-sized robots.
Slightly bigger than a human.
Yeah, slightly bigger.
than a
They look like xenomorphs.
Yes.
Okay, they look like xenomorphs from the Alien franchise, and they all ran out and they ran
They
towards,
genetically reconstructed the kaijus into
Yeah.
one mega kaiju.
like physically pulling them
Yeah,
together,
cutting and
kind of
pulling,
thing,
yeah.
cutting and pulling. I thought that was that is a big stretch right there.
You think so?
I thought that
I'm unnecessarily generous with this movie.
That was the point where I was gonna walk out had it not been the good fight scenes.
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't take that as well. Like, why would they merge? Why?
No,
Where did he keep those things? There's so many of them.
Exactly, yeah. When I first saw the trailer where we see the 3 kaijus merge into one, I thought, okay, that is a game changer because the kaijus now
Have
have
the
figured
human-
out,
yeah.
they can merge. So this is, and then you have that scene where they're overlooking, but how they merged was a big problem for me.
Yeah,
It
like,
was,
Really?
yeah, for
Like,
me.
When you say the kaijus figured out how to merge, like in what world, what kind of creature would figure out how to merge themselves together?
No, it wouldn't have been the kaijus. It would have been the precursors who would have designed the kaijus
Or
in
they
that
could have
way.
seen like,
Design kaijus?
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is a wormhole,
Because
right?
the kaijus are not random. They're
Yeah,
designed.
They're designed
by the precursors.
Aren't they born?
They're created on the world.
They're created on in that other dimension by the precursors and sent through the bridge.
Okay,
To
that makes
conquer.
sense.
Yeah, they're the mercenary. They're the
Yeah.
soldiers.
Yep. So
Okay.
it's like us humans dropping like a nuclear bomb
Yeah.
for the first run, and then they just keep sending kaijus.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've talked about this movie enough. Let's sort of end this review, and I'm gonna give my remarks first. I will say that despite what I have said about Pacific Rim Uprising, if you want to compare it to the first movie, to me, it doesn't come close. But as, like Khai said, an action movie where you turn your brain off for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you enjoy the spectacle in front of you and eat your popcorn and drink your drink, I think it works. It's okay. It's I wouldn't advise you to rush to the cinemas unless you're a super huge fan. But if you're looking to just kill a couple of hours and be entertained, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I would definitely recommend people to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my rating?
Yeah. I mean, any more you want to say?
Again, like you just need one of these good beatdown movies. You really just need them.
You just need them.
I mean, look, the next one's Infinity War. The next big one's Infinity War. And the last one was Black Panther. You need something to kind of calm yourself in between. And
Okay.
just I mean,
Where does this come from?
I don't know. I would give it are we giving ratings?
Yeah. I mean, we can give it.
I'd give it an 8.
8 out
Yeah.
of 10.
whoa. My God, that's
All
really
right.
high.
I know. I would give it a 13.
No. So Kai's giving it, a category 8.
Nice.
Nikkei?
I'm giving it a 3 because of
Out of 5 or 10?
out of 100, not out of 10. Like I would have given a 0 if it weren't for the last fight scene, because it looks so much like Ultraman, like big giant monster terrorizing Tokyo, and you see like people in Tokyo running away from the monster, that scene. And then suddenly a robot came and started fighting off that monster and destroying all the building. That's where I enjoy most. And it looks just like watching Ultraman.
Okay.
So that's my 3 points.
3
3
points.
stars.
All right, Del.
So to sum it all up, I have this theory where, because Stephen S. the Knight has been in the writer's room for Transformers The Last Night.
Yeah.
And there's this uncanny
Was
similarities.
he for the last night or the expanded Transformers universe?
The Last Night as well came from the writer's room. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't
But
think
it
it
was
did,
also
yeah.
for the expanded universe as well, which include Bumblebee's solo movie.
Yeah, upcoming movie. Okay. Yeah.
So there is this uncanny similarity in the first act between the two movies, whereby we are introduced to a little girl who happens to have a cute little robot with her.
In a
and
junkyard.
Yep, in a junkyard, and she is a good mechanic herself.
Yeah.
But that's the Force Awakens effect, don't you think?
What is the Force Awakens effect?
Oh, the
Lone girl
the
on
whole
a junkyard.
Rey thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but then, well, yeah, if you put it that way, but Rey didn't have a pet until BB-8 came along.
Well, that's true.
I just checked. No, Stephen S. the Knight was not involved with the last night.
No, the last
No,
night.
it was supposed to be the huge Hasbro Mega Universe.
Oh, where
It was
G.I.
the
Joe
G.I.
comes in.
Joe,
No,
Wrong Space Knights.
no.
Yeah, it was.
It's because they set up a writer's room for... No, he would not be credited for The Last Night. Because in that writer's room, there are a lot of writers there, and they will just pick and choose, and somebody will take
Yeah.
all the ideas and put it together.
So they were like spitball and
Yeah, just like us doing comedy, and we are spitballing ideas.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, that's true.
So, okay, my rating for this would be 5 Mako's death out of 10. Because that woman has to die,
Oh.
and she did.
Actually, so you're happy about that. Just
yeah.
giving it 5. Okay.
So that was the reason why it's a 5.
Okay, I am gonna give Pacific Rim Uprising a 5.5 out of 10 hybrid kaijus because I've already said it in my review of this. It doesn't stand up to the first film. I still love the first film. I'm a big fan of Pacific Rim 1. 2 just doesn't live up to it, if you ask me. But then I agree with Khai that it is a movie that you can enjoy, and yeah, if you should, if you haven't seen it. And where should they catch it if they want to? I mean,
Time Cineplex.
just head over to Time Cineplex. You can book your tickets online. The best place to watch movies here in Brunei. So that concludes our review of Pacific Rim Uprising. Up next, we're going to be talking about 2 Marvel movies in our MCU recap, which is The Road to Infinity War. This is, of course, episode number 5. Well, part 5, actually. And today we're talking about Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, up next, Captain America, which is the second Captain America
Soldier.
movie.
Among the finest entries of the MCU.
Yes, and
Arguably one of the best.
And this is where we see the Russo brothers, take their helm.
Oh,
Oof.
my goodness.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers are a revelation, and I now kowtow at their feet.
One's Revo, the other one's Lation. There's 2 of them.
And you put them together.
Revelation.
Okay, quick recap of Captain America, The Winter Soldier. In this movie, we rejoin Cap, who is now, an operative of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the very first scene, he and Black Widow jump onto a tanker truck.
Oh.
A tanker ship.
I love...
Isn't the first scene the running?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Running.
Running
Yeah.
first.
The Falcon.
And then he keeps
yeah.
bumping into Samuels.
On
which
your
is-
left.
Which is a
Samuelson.
great way to introduce the new supporting character.
On your
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, on your left.
On your left.
And
Okay.
then it ends with him being picked up by Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then we have that amazing scene where he's in a stealth strike suit.
Yes.
Jumps down to the
Oil tanker.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he systematically takes down everyone, including Batroc the Leaper, which was played by an MMA fighter, I think.
I think so.
Yes, and that the first action sequence has already opened up like a whole new world into how Captain America moves with his shield.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who is a super soldier, and he's in the plane, and he goes like, all right, let's go. He jumps out without a parachute.
Yeah. And then I think somebody asked, did he take a parachute? And then it was
Like-
Crossbones who said, doesn't need one.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
So Robert Redford is in this movie.
Oh,
He
amazing.
He now plays the head of the Security Council.
Yeah, the
I
global
would have not in a million years would I have thought that Robert Redford would utter the words "Hell Hydra."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Given his filmography,
Yes.
this is Robert Redford.
Yes.
It's like having Sean Connery say something from a comic book film. You're like, this is Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he goes, "Hail Hydra." I was like, ho ho ho.
Okay, so if you haven't watched this movie, essentially what happens is, it's the return of Hydra in a big way, and they show that Hydra has managed to infiltrate over many, many years all these key positions of power, including S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
in the U.S. government.
Yeah, in the US government, and they're a big influence. And how the story sort of kicks off, the big plot of this story is that S.H.I.E.L.D. is now setting up to equip 3 helicarriers with new tech that can identify threats before they happen and take these people out. Basically, these big floating assassination machines up in the sky.
They're basically flying Ed 209s.
Yes, that's it. Ed 209s.
What's A209?
From RoboCop.
They basically prejudge
Yeah,
your
they
judgment.
prejudge.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
The-
you have 5 seconds to comply.
Yeah. So
What are the 3 people in the Minority Report called that can
Oh,
precog?
I have not
the
seen that.
precog.
the precogs, yeah,
Precogs.
the ones in the pool.
Yeah.
So this is the main plot of it, and this is where we see Captain America, Steve Rogers, not agree with it.
Yeah.
He says, no,
It's the
if,
beginning of his shift in ideology.
yeah, if they haven't done anything wrong, then they're not criminals yet.
This
And-
isn't freedom, this is fear.
Yeah, and the information that they get from that first action sequence on the tanker, is essential because it's a list of all the criminals around the world, and they want to upload it onto these things, and that's where things kick off. Essentially, Steve Rogers, Captain America, becomes a fugitive. He goes up against S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who in its Hydra incarnation have an assassin called the Winter Soldier.
Yes,
That is supposed to bring down Captain America. And the twist, spoiler alert, 4 years ago this movie came out. It's your fault if you haven't watched it. Is that this is his best friend, his BFF, his hetero life mate, his Chewbacca. This is Bucky Barnes.
Bucky Barnes, who is now the Winter Soldier. He was captured after World War II and
worked on
experimented
by
on.
Dr. Arnim Zola.
Yep.
Played by Toby. No, I'm forgetting his name.
Toby something.
Something. It's not Toby Kebbell.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's basically changing the entire paradigm of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Because you thought S.H.I.E.L.D. was this agency that basically believed in good, but no, it turns out it's systematically destroying everything.
Now, more on the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier, of course, is Bucky Barnes, the best friend of Steve Rogers. Even way back before they both signed up for the army for World War II. He was thought to have died in World War II, but in actual fact, he was experimented on, and he is now this infamous sort of assassin. He's like the stuff of legend in this film. It's like, oh yeah, there's this guy called Winter Soldier, da 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 da. And we find out in the second act of the film that it is Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
That scene where he caught the shoe.
And yeah, see when he caught the shield during the chase, and then later on during that fight on the road.
One of the better chase scenes in cinema, I feel.
On the roof, you mean?
Not the
whole Nick Fury one?
No, the one on the road.
On the freeway.
on the freeway.
Yeah, the freeway, yes.
Where there was a grenade or a bomb, and then Steve Rogers blocks it, and he
With the
flies
shield,
off. Yeah,
yeah.
with the shield. This is
The action is crazy in this film.
it's crazy.
And
Yeah.
to have come from 2 directors whose background was in comedy.
Yeah, revelation.
Yeah.
Revelation.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before we,
Captain America 8.
So towards the end of this movie, of course, there has to be a big destruction scene, and the headquarters for S.H.I.E.L.D. is destroyed. The helicarriers all fall out of the sky, and Steve Rogers is almost killed by Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
And the only line that pulls Bucky back from his Winter Soldier state is,
I'll
"Are you
miss
done
you."
yet? Are you done yet?" Because he's punching him. He's like, "Are you done yet? Because I'm here till the end."
Yeah, I'm with you till then.
I'm with you till the
Yeah.
end. And then he goes, "What? I think you really are my friend."
Those we done now.
Yeah. So Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, ends up saving Captain America, pulling
But
him
not
out,
knowing why.
not knowing why, and then he, in a post-credit scene, has to go back to the museum, and he sees himself, and that's where
Next
he,
to Captain America.
that's where he, sort of realizes that, okay, I guess I am a machine, sort of a killing machine.
So this movie also introduced us to the Falcon, which we
Yeah.
saw how he maneuvers in the air. And
Yes.
and there was one aerial maneuver he did, which made, I think, the whole cinema went woohoo when he closed his wings, and then he did a somersault, and then the missiles from the behind flew past him to hit something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And also we were introduced to the first time we hear Stephen Strange's name is in this movie. That's when we knew that Doctor Strange is coming next.
what
When
was
Jasper Sitwell says, Stephen Strange, like he said something like that, and you go, oh no.
Yeah, because he mentioned Bruce Banner and Stephen Strange. strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, one of the best films, in my opinion,
Yep.
in the MCU. You know, in terms of action, in terms of cinematography, in terms of the fight scenes, the shots. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite movies as well.
It's also, again, one of those most solid entries in the MCU.
Yes, this of course
Not a
helmed-
personal favorite, but it's
Yeah.
great.
This, of course, helmed by James Gunn. No one knew, well, except for the hardcore comic book fans, what the Guardians of the Galaxy was, who they were, how they were involved in the story. But I think Marvel did an excellent job to introduce the characters.
Yeah.
From Star-Lord, Peter Quill, to Gamora,
Drax.
to Drax, Rocket Raccoon. I don't know how to start.
I would argue that even hardcore comic book fans wouldn't know this property. Did you know, Kai?
Yep. So, backstory, they announced Phase 2 in 2012 at Comic-Con, the year the first Avengers movie came out.
Yep, okay.
And I could be wrong, but the movies that were confirmed at that point was Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man 3, and Thor 2. They did not announce Ant-Man yet. Or Age of Ultron. And I remember looking at the logo for Winter Soldier, it was a shield that was just chrome and the red had come off.
Yep.
And having been an Ed Brubaker fan of the Captain America stuff, I said, this is quite literally possibly going to be the greatest film of the phase.
Yeah.
And then I looked at Guardians of the Galaxy, run by Dan Abnett, and I thought this is going to be a joke.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you had your doubts about
No,
this.
yeah, I was like, you can't sell Guardians of the Galaxy because they had the Abnett and Lanning concept art. I was like, you can't sell this, and all the comic book fans I know knew. They were like, okay, Marvel's reaching. And then first night I was there for the film, and I thought, I am so wrong. I'm so wrong. I was like, wow, I'm gonna shut up now.
All right. Let's talk casting because we're introduced to brand new characters. At this point in MCU. First pick, Chris Pratt. Who would have thought that Chris Pratt would
Not
have
me.
been?
Yeah, from
Would
Park
have-
and Ride to
From Parks and Recs to
Star-Lord.
all his little comedic roles, and he was literally fat before playing Star-Lord. And then one of the first few shots you see in the film is him in his Ravager suit, and then he gets arrested, and he, is sprayed with that orange liquid, because he's going to prison, and he's ripped.
Yeah.
He's so ripped.
And I think the only name cast members were Zoe Saldana and Bradley Cooper.
yes.
And Vin
Which
Diesel.
even weren't that big as well. Both
Bradley-
these names weren't that big as
Zoe
well.
Saldana
Bradley
was
Cooper was huge at this point.
Yeah, but he was
For what?
The Hangover, and he even got nominated for an Oscar for Silver Linings.
Oh, Silver Linings.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Bradley
yeah.
It was
Cooper
him
was
and Vin
big.
Diesel. Like
It was Vin
everyone-
Diesel's name.
I'm
that-
not giving Vin Diesel.
okay.
I thought.
Okay, we're also introduced to Karen Gillian's character.
Yeah,
Nebula.
she did so she's transatlantic.
Yeah.
Because she's a British actress.
Yep.
Who was immensely popular in Doctor Who. And
Yes.
incredible in Doctor Who. And she made her, I think, American film debut in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's now like a staple for MCU.
The MCU, yeah.
And she very recently was in Jumanji.
She was, yes.
Yeah, she was in Jumanji. So
It also introduced the most important character of the MCU, Josh Brolin's Thanos.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
introduced as in
That was the first time we saw Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
no,
just
no, no,
Thanos.
no, wait.
No.
We did not see Brolin's face.
That was Brolin as Thanos.
Sure.
100%.
Okay.
Because so they announced it at that Comic-Con, 2014's Comic-Con. And then, yes, he had the Hasbro 5-pack Marvel Legends Infinity
Oh.
Gauntlet.
yeah.
That- yeah.
And then when the movie came out, my jaw dropped because I was like, oh no, he's on the throne. And then the throne turned and I saw Josh Brolin's face and I lost it.
Okay.
Wait, which one was the one, a small cameo from Thanos at the end of the movie?
That
It's
was
not this
Avengers.
one?
That was
one.
Avengers.
But that was not
okay,
Josh
That
Brolin.
wasn't Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
somebody else.
I got confused.
Yeah.
So the first time that I thought sitting inside the cinema and I thought, well, this is going to be something great was when Chris Pratt or Star-Lord was dancing in the cave to the Walkman.
Yeah.
and
What
he
song
grabbed,
was that from Redbone?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 What's the matter with you?
No.
Huh? No.
The
What? Na, 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 na. That one, right?
Yeah.
Come and get
Come
your
and Get
love.
Your Love, yeah.
Redbone, right, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And then the title of the movie came up on screen and it filled up like almost the whole screen.
Yeah.
That was like a throwback to the 80s kind of cheesy B-movie.
Yeah, B-movies,
Because
yeah.
that's where James Gunn hailed from. And
Slither.
Slither,
Yes.
yeah.
And Super, right?
Super, yes.
Yeah. The music selection for Guardians of the
It's
Galaxy
fantastic.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And even now, we already have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They stick with the same sort of themes in terms of music.
Which is where I was a bit like, okay, so, Guardians of the Galaxy changed the game with music and film correlation.
Yeah.
Which is why I wasn't really a fan of a lot of the last couple of films because they overdid the music bits.
Yeah.
Really?
Like Doctor Strange, he started doing a thing in the beginning when he talks about the song, and I'm just like, okay, this is a Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
effect.
as in because he's doing surgery and then they play a song and say, oh, this is that song. That's
that's
song.
the Robert Downey effect. The Tony Stark thing.
And then you had it in Spider-Man as well, Homecoming, where they kept doing the Ramones.
Well,
I did not catch that.
I did not catch it as well.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this. Yeah,
I think you're overthinking this, man.
sure, Del.
All right. Anyway, so Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, overall really good. If you
Respectable,
haven't seen it,
very
respectable
Yeah.
movie.
Not in my
Love
top
it.
5, but
Love
I
it.
totally see where it went.
All right, so that concludes this episode of The Road to Infinity War. We'll be talking about this more in the coming weeks before Avengers Infinity War, which is out in Brunei, April 25th, 2018. Now we're going to move on to the next bit of the show, which is...
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看？ apa liat-liat?
Apa liat-liat?
你看什么看？
apa liat-liat? See what see? 笑了。
Yep, Apa Liat Liat, which is a segment where we talk about the things that we have been watching besides the movie this week, which is Pacific Rim Uprising. Let's start off this week with Del. Del, what have you been watching?
I went back to the cinema to watch Tomb Raider.
Again?
Why?
No, like
Oh, you hadn't?
I wasn't on the.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't here when you guys watched it.
Okay, and what did you think?
For a movie adapted from a video game, I think this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets, man.
Okay.
So I don't really have big problems with it. The Alicia Vikander looks great as Lara Croft, so I'm hoping that they will do a sequel and let's see where this movie would go. Because unlike the first iteration with Angelina Jolie, there wasn't a lot of tomb raiding. This one, we literally went down into a tomb and dug something up.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and then there are all these like the booby traps and solving some puzzles. That's like the game. And that whole sequence of her on the plane that was almost falling off the cliff near the water.
That's
The one,
from the
that,
game.
the one that we
That's
saw
from
in the
the game.
trailer, yeah.
That was in the game?
That was from
was
the
in
game, yeah.
It looks like something from a game. I don't know what the gaming community is complaining about. I didn't play the new game, but I played the ones the original Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
Okay. Anything else besides that?
No.
No? Alright, let's move on to Nikkei. What have you been watching? Apa Liat Liat?
Ryan Murphy's American Crime Story.
I heard about
Season
this.
2, The Assassination of Gianni
Versace. Yeah, I heard about this.
So it's not really so much about Versace himself, but more about the guy who murdered him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about this guy, this Andrew, this serial killer Andrew. So it's like started from like his like a little backstory of like his childhood, how his parents were, and then who was his first victim and things like that. It's a very typical Ryan Murphy type of series.
Yeah.
So
okay.
so he's really good at developing the characters.
Yeah, and going behind the psyche of that character. Yeah.
But
okay.
always like towards the mid-season, it kind of get
a bit draggy.
and then but then you're already so invested in the character, so you just keep watching.
Yeah.
So this is where I am now. I just keep watching.
Because you spent all that time.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna stop now.
Yeah. So he's really good at doing this. Because that's what happened to the first season of the O.J. Simpson one.
Yeah.
So now I'm like so invested with this one. So I'm still watching. But the actor who's playing Andrew, Darren Criss, is really good in this. Like I did not expect him to like well in like as an actor. Like cause he was this guy in Glee. That's all we got from him. Blaine. He was okay. He was charming and all. But now he being this like manipulative.
In like a serious role.
Yeah, manipulative, psychological, practical, like liar and everything. It was amazing. Like his performance is amazing. Yeah.
Okay. I should check that out. Anything else? That's about it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about it.
Kai? Apa Liat Liat?
You know, I tried watching American Horror Story.
Okay.
Because
Which
you know, so
one?
Ryan Murphy's really famous for doing stuff like this, right? So I tried watching the Roanoke one, I think season 6.
Season
Yeah,
6.
and I realized like, so this is a wormhole. I go down this, I'm gonna watch American Crime Story, and then I'm gonna,
Yeah.
you know, like, so I just decided not to.
That's how
invest.
they get you.
Yeah, I feel like that's how to get you. In terms of, I think I mentioned a bunch of times that I've been like I'm just watching franchises after franchises. I finished Rocky the other day.
Yeah.
So I took a break and I watched Creed
And then
2 nights ago, and I watched Super 8 on Blu-ray yesterday as well.
that's a good movie.
That's a brilliant movie.
I love
dare
Super
say
8.
that is J.J. Abrams' best movie, Super 8.
Yeah.
I loved
agree.
it. And so the night before I watched Creed, which was also amazing,
Yep.
from Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther. And I just realized that the love interest was Tessa Thompson,
Yeah.
who played Valkyrie in Thor
Like,
Ragnarok.
wait, you didn't realize that the first time?
Because Thor Ragnarok wasn't out yet.
Okay.
I did not realize it. Now you say it's like, oh.
Well played.
Del, how long have you been traveling through different times?
Foresight.
No, because when I knew Tessa Thompson this name from Creed.
Right. Okay.
okay.
Right. I mean, to be fair, the only reason I watched Creed was to see Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
But
I watched Creed because it was Creed. It was just a movie that came out in the cinema, and I decided to watch it.
It didn't play
which
here.
it turned out to be the best thing. Not here. I
Okay.
wasn't in Brunei.
that's what I thought. Because if it played here, I would have watched it here.
Yeah. What happened to your Terminator binge?
Yeah. So I went halfway through number 3, and then realized,
It's not worth it.
and then realized Nick Stahl was John Connor.
Yep.
No. No. I don't know how
Is
I
it the
sat
one
through
with Claire Danes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I sat through it when I was 13.
Because of Claire Danes.
And Kristanna Loken. But yeah, no. So I'm gonna jump into Terminator Salvation at some point.
Okay.
And
Just skip it.
Christian Bale, I mean.
Yeah.
You
All
know?
right.
No.
I have checked out this week a couple of things. I watched season 4 of Black Mirror.
Ah.
And I was never really a fan of it. It was sort of like I'll catch this episode and, sort of pick which episode I want to see. But I watched, in one day, episode 1 to 6.
Right.
And I have to say that I have to go back now and watch the previous seasons of it properly because I don't remember very much about season 1. If you haven't checked out Black Mirror, you can check it out. It's on Netflix. And every episode is a different story.
Yeah.
From a different director. And, even Jodie Foster directed one episode of that.
Nice.
Which was the mother and daughter one, I think, which was okay.
I've not seen Black Mirror yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay, you should.
I rented it.
You rented it.
Yeah.
I don't feel much for Jodie Foster directing.
Really?
Yeah.
What has she directed? I know she's directed a bunch of stuff.
Only a handful.
Right.
Brave
And one
one?
was one of it was the one with Mel Gibson coming back after all that fiasco.
Oh.
The one that with the talking. Wait, was it a bear? Oh no, the beaver. The beaver.
What?
It's called the beaver.
It's called The Beaver.
Okay.
So he's got this
She
beaver.
also, didn't she do that plane
the
movie?
puppet beaver.
Yeah.
Flight Plan?
Was it? Was
What?
that
Flight
was,
Plan?
Did she direct that?
I don't think so.
don't think
she
so.
No.
she didn't star in the movies that she directed.
Oh, okay.
No, the Josh Clooney and Julia Roberts on Money Monster or
Oh
something.
yeah, Money Monster,
Money Monster.
She directed that?
which was not that great as a director. Yeah.
I did not watch that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that's. I think that's the show this week for the Wayang Crew.
Wayang Crew.
Another one down. Next week we'll be maybe talking about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
So that's coming out this week this coming
Yay.
week in Brunei. And it's going to be a good episode. From Kev, this is the Wayang Crew signing off. I'd like to thank my guest. Oh, sorry, not my guest, my co-host, Del, Neekay and Khai once again.
You all know who this is.
And until next time, we'll see you. This is the Wayang Crew signing off. Bye.
Bye.